Hi, I'm Annapolis Mayor Josh Cohen with your monthly video update for October 2011. In this update, I want to share some recent information about parking rates, about new businesses, about a cool new boat, and about a rededication of a nature park. So starting with the parking, one of the things I've focused on a lot with the City Council and with our staff has been transforming our transportation department so that Annapolis will truly have a top-notch, high-performing transportation system that moves people around effectively. Part of that is the circulator trolley. It's in this pilot program right now. We're still working the kinks out to improve it. Part of it also is market pricing for parking. And this is something where what makes good policy is not always the most popular thing to do. And what I'm talking about is pricing for parking spaces on the street. Because on the one hand, businesses downtown want the on-street parking spaces to be as cheap as possible, to have a great parking experience, no parking tickets, etc., when people come and park right on Main Street or right on Maryland Avenue, right near their business. The problem is there's only a limited number of parking spaces, and the demand, particularly on weekends and during special events, balloons. And so the only way we're going to get the best utilization of our overall parking spaces is if we have market pricing, which means where the demand is greatest, you price it the most. So we're not talking about increasing the rates for our on-street spaces right now. But what we are doing, effective November 1st, is we're lowering the rates at our two parking garages that have the most capacity, the most unused capacity. Knighton Garage on West Street and Park Place Garage right in Park Place on Westgate Circle. So effective November 1st, we offer two monthly rates. The restricted rate means Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's only $50 a month at either of those garages. The unrestricted is 24/7, and that's only $60 a month. This is an initiative that the Economic Development Corporation has worked on closely with our Department of Transportation, and it was made possible because the City Council earlier this year passed legislation allowing the city manager through the Director of Transportation to set market pricing for parking. It's something that has been a long time coming. It's been advocated by our Parking Advisory Commission, by our Transportation Transition Team, etc. And this is part of the process of really getting a top-notch mobility system in Annapolis. So speaking of the Economic Development Corporation and economic development, Annapolis is blessed because despite the economic downturn nationally, a lot of new businesses have been opening up in Annapolis. And we have so many strengths as a community and as an economy, and we have an enduring appeal for people who want to not just live here but open up business. So just a few of the businesses that have that I've cut the ribbon at recently. Downtown, Farage's Barbershop, the Capistrano Barbershop, offers an old world style and flair and personalized attention right on Maryland Avenue. Across the street from Farage is Blue Crab Antiques, which was in my neighborhood of West Annapolis. They recently moved to Maryland Avenue and just expanded. Speaking of West Annapolis, we cut the ribbon at 1 Petticoat Lane, which is a high-end consignment store. And all you ladies out there, the last Thursday evening of every month is Ladies' Night. That's on Annapolis Street in West Annapolis. Also, just a block down from Petticoat Lane, the Department of Veterans Affairs opened up a vet center for servicemen and women returning home to access services right here in a community setting. Two other businesses have opened up recently who are national companies. One at the heart of City Dock is Sperry Topsider. Now, Sperry's been around since the 1930s, but they've only recently started opening their own company retail outlets. They only have 10, in fact. And the manager was telling me at the ribbon cutting that when they were sitting down talking about where they wanted to open up shop, Annapolis was at the top of their list, again, because of our brand as a maritime center and as a lifestyle. And so I want to thank Harvey Blonder, the landlord, for helping to secure Sperry. I think they're going to be a great tenant and help revitalize City Dock. Another national company is 7-Eleven, and as a lot of downtown and Murray Hill folks know, there was a lot of negotiations about 7-Eleven moving into Rusty's Service Center at the corner of West Street and Lafayette Avenue. The end result is something that our entire community can be proud of. 7-Eleven did a beautiful job. They invested a lot of money and really have a beautiful facility that is already seeing a lot of traffic and is helping to breathe new life back into the West Street corridor. So despite the economy, even though things are still tight and things are still tough financially around here, we can count our blessings that we have it a lot better off than some other communities. Two other announcements, both of which are green. One is that the city received a new hybrid boat. This is a hybrid diesel, electric, and solar boat. It's a Harbor Master patrol boat. The price tag was $400,000, but thanks to the efforts of our Harbor Master Flip Walters and MARAMA, which is the Mid-Atlantic Regional Air Management Association, we got $300,000 of that funded through the Environmental Protection Agency, and the balance was covered by a grant from the Canadian government. I guess they were joining forces with Annapolis to hold down the rebels in the Maritime Republic of Eastport, because Canada, I guess, has its own national security interest there. But this is not only good for the environment, it's going to save significant fuel costs, and I want to thank Flip Walters for shepherding this through several years to get it done. This is the first of 2 boats that we anticipate getting. And finally, on October 22nd, I had the pleasure of joining several of my colleagues on the City Council to officially rename Back Creek Nature Park after my predecessor, former Mayor Ellen Moyer. The City Council unanimously passed the legislation that renames the park as the Ellen O. Moyer Nature Park at Back Creek. It's fitting for a number of reasons. For one, Ellen, when she was an alderwoman, really spearheaded the efforts for the city to acquire this 12-acre natural preserve and preserve it. But more broadly, Ellen, two of the main passions in her professional life have been the environment as well as education, and this park combines both. It's a beautiful passive nature park. It's got water access and a kayak landing, and it also combines that with education with this interactive stormwater education center. And the city has held classes there. My older daughter a couple years ago participated and learned about the impact of rainwater runoff on water and how water interacts with the land. And it's something that is, I think, a fitting tribute to Ellen and her life's work in this community, working on environmental and educational initiatives. And if you have not been there, it's right down Edgewood Road, and I encourage everyone to check it out. It's a great gem of a park. So that's the update for October. As always, you can reach me by calling 410-263-7997. You can visit my blog, mayorcohen.com, and leave a comment, or you can email me at mayor@annapolis.gov. Thanks for watching.